What is going on, everybody? It's Jamie and welcome to the channel Thiftonfire. Today's video is going to be all about a wholesale buy. Now this one's going to sound crazy at first, but the more we talk about it, the more it's going to make sense. If you take a look in these bins here, you probably can't see in them very well. There's one sitting here beside me too. They're all media, okay? So they're DVDs. I seen some Blu-rays when I was packing this stuff up. I seen a couple of video games, but I mean one or two. Now I wasn't really looking at this stuff. I was just trying to stack it in these bins and grab them in handfuls at a time. There's 213 pounds here. They actually have bigger pallets you can get. This one's one they sort of had set to the side for some reason, and they were basically, I'm pretty sure they were just going to get rid of this one, so they sold it to me very cheap by the pound. It was 213 pounds. I paid $6.30. So it's probably starting to make a little bit more sense now why I would want all this stuff in the first place, because it was very cheap. Like, to give you an idea, for my antique booth, I will normally, at the Goodwill bins, pick up horror DVDs, live music DVDs, and sometimes like superhero or like Marvel type DVDs, and sell them for like $4 a piece, roughly. Some of the music ones, depending on what it is, I'll ask for $6, and they have been selling there. So I only really have to sell either a couple of DVDs here, or even, you know, one music DVD if there's any in here, and it's all free, right? So there's not a lot of risk here. It's just going to take a lot of time. So it took me about an hour to pack these all up in bins and get them in the car. I'm going to have to sort these all out. Some discs could be missing. Some discs could be scratched so bad you couldn't even play them. I'm probably not going to go and test every disc. If it looks good, I will keep it, set it to the side. I'm going to sort them in like media. So I'm going to do like, you know, comedy, horror movie, kids movies, family movies. Hopefully there's some music DVDs. Hopefully there's some video games. I don't really know. It's going to be an adventure, but you know, if anybody's in the market, obviously for a bulk buy of DVDs, I'm going to be your guy for a while. I think I'm going to have this available for as long as I want it, essentially. We'll see how this one goes. My thought process is to bundle some of these up together and sell them in lots. I might do some live whatnots. I might do some live auctions locally. I might sell wholesale to somebody watching this video, or somebody who's interested in DVDs and wants to get them very, very cheap. You know, obviously, you know what I paid for them. We can make a great deal. Regardless, I do think this is going to be something that's going to be interesting and profitable, and it's going to take work, but I don't have a lot of money into it. So it kind of makes me excited to work at it. You know, there's nothing but upside potential here, in my opinion. But let's get home and we can start sorting through some of this stuff and see what kind of money we think there's a potential to make here. So here's what $6.30 worth of DVDs look like. So you see these bins are pretty full. A couple of loose ones I threw in the bags just because I couldn't get them all in the bins. You know, I think there's some pretty decent stuff in here, really. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bins and a couple of bags. Definitely worth $6.
The next day.
All right, so I don't get to work in my living room very often, but I'm just gonna go bin by bin and try to figure out, first of all, I'm gonna do categories. I probably make sure the disc is in there. I won't look at disc condition too much yet, but I'm gonna try to do like kids movies, action movies, whatever, right? So I'm just gonna kind of try to separate them. I do have a separate little bin here. Hopefully I only have to fill it up once per bin, or maybe once overall would be even better. That's going to be the stuff that's going to go directly in the garbage or be donated or whatever I do with it. I'm not really sure. It really depends what it is. But yeah, I'll probably time lapse going through these bins, and then we can talk about it right after.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world?
Okay, so we emptied out the first bin. Most of these are either empty, or if there is a disc in it, I don't know if I can find one right here, but there are a couple burnt discs. This isn't it either. This is somebody's family vacation or something, right? Just a burned disc in there. So I'm trying to keep them separate a little bit here. So these are all horror movies I'm going to have in the booth. There's a stand-up comedy, a hockey one, some more music ones. These are kind of similar. I also found this card in this DVD. It looks like this is worth about $8. When I looked it up initially, it looked like it could be worth $30, but the only one I can see sold was for about $8. I think superhero movies, getting the kids stuff. Not a lot of Disney yet. These are more like Shrek and Shark Tale, stuff like that. Littler kids stuff like Dora the Explorer. A whole bunch of these baby Einsteins, just comedy movies. One of these, I think this is action, and this one's like more serious and rom-coms. A couple exercise DVDs. These are all family type movies, and then TV series. So 4 more bins to go through, 2 bags. We'll catch up. For me, it'll be a couple hours, but we'll catch up here in the next clip. Okay, so the next one is emptied. As far as stuff I'm keeping, these ones are just interesting. They might be eventually items that I throw in the booth. Walk the Line, Cartoon, Jackass, One Direction. The rest of this stuff, you know, these are all comedies. These are mostly action movies, I think. These are movies I'm going to keep for the booth. The Conjuring, Red Dragon, Resident Evil, horror movie themed. I did find a couple video games here. So this was supposed to be The Hangover. Winds up being Grand Theft Auto 5 for Xbox One. I will throw a comp up for whatever that's worth. I haven't looked it up yet or anything. Then we have PC games. They're not normally super valuable, but Counter-Strike, I'll throw a comp up for that. Probably not worth much. And then World at War, Call of Duty, I'll throw a comp up for that as well. So keep in mind, I only paid $6 and change for all this. Let's go through another bin. All right, as you can see, we have 1, 2. We've emptied both of the blue, just IKEA bags. A couple interesting finds. This is a audiobook, Deathlands. I'll look that one up. I'll throw a comp up if it's any good. Press Your Luck. It's a DVD game. I don't know that it's going to be worth a ton of money or anything like that. Stuff that I'm setting aside for the booth again. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon game. Stand Up, 8 Mile, a Family Guy. I think I've got some more Family Guy over there. Stepfather, Zombieland, so horror movies to toss in there. This are probably at some point we toss in again. We are starting to get some more junk ones. I'll show you the junk bin in a minute. Other than that, family movies, a lot more kids movies this time. These ones are sort of like rom-coms and like more serious movies. A few comedies in here. And then I think these are mostly just action movies. Now we have, unfortunately, threw some extra discs in there, and then we have this one back here full too. I think we're getting a little bit closer now. I'm just going to do a count here. Yeah, 3 bins to go. I guess we just keep going. Yes, this bin is filthy. And there's a lot more garbage in this one too. There's a lot more missing discs, burnt disc, loose discs, TV series, exercise videos, family movies, a lot of kids, a lot of comedy. These are more action. These are more drama and like rom-com. These are the ones I'm going to keep. So Independence Day, Paranormal 2, Forgotten, Don't Say a Word. Then there's a couple music ones here. Spider-Man, Ray, X-Men. I want to look this one up. And then I think a couple Pokemon, Jurassic Park, Green Hornet. Also a couple games. PC games, so not that valuable. Probably Deal or No Deal, Crisis. Remember when this was like the bench standard for every computer ever for video games? And then I set this one aside just because it was a Blu-ray. So we have 2 more bins to go through. What do I expect? I don't know. It's been a lot of the same. I do see doubles for sure. You can see behind me, the piles are growing. I'm going to make lots for sure, at least figure out genres and whatever. So that's the point of kind of like separating them right now. But 2 more to go. Let's get to it. All right. So you can see how dirty this bin is too. So obviously I'm going to have to like disinfect my table when I'm done. I just didn't realize it was so dirty. You can see it on my hands as well. Kind of gross, but we'll clean up when we're done. A lot more junk in this one. This is all movies and stuff. More workout DVDs again. I think these are family sorry, this is the family movies, like rom-coms and dramas and stuff like that here. Comedies in this pile, kids movies, action movies, 1 video game this time, The Sims 4. I'm going to keep these ones, the greatest hits, Day After Tomorrow, Another Dawn Cherry, Dark Knight, music one with Cher and Christina, Iron Man, Paranormal Activity, another 8 Mile I'm going to keep, Shania Twain, Blink 182, I'll hide this one from my wife, Jonas Brothers, another hockey one, Spider-Man, horror movie, Edward Scissorhands, I figured that'd be fun too. I Know Who Killed Me, and Sleepy Hollow, Disturbia. So obviously the ones I'm showing you at the end, like I said, those are most likely going to be for my booth. I'm just, I'm not going to take them there right away just so that I can switch DVDs and stuff out eventually, because those are kind of the genres of stuff that I have in there anyway. This other stuff will get added to the lot here behind us. And we have one more bin to go through. So fingers crossed, you never know what you're going to find. Pretty happy already. I have no concerns about not making my $6 back. It's just, what do I do with all these? I guess we'll figure that out though. All right, the last bin is empty. So we do have a bunch of workout DVDs again, some TV series. These are family type movies, more dramas and rom-coms. All kids movies here. These are more action type movies. Comedies, bunch of comedies. The ones I'm keeping, well, first of all, a couple video games. So Connects, Xbox 360. I think this is a PC game, Dragon Age. The discs and everything are in here. DVDs I'm keeping for the booth are going to be Green Hornet, Bowling for Combine, a Batman, Katy Perry, this special edition Avatar, Perfect Storm, great movie, a Jackass, another Batman, Indiana Jones, and The Dark Knight. I will give you a better view of what's going on the floor when I get these ones moved off the table to the floor, and I'll show you the total ones, the total amount that I'm keeping, I guess. I'm now going to take a couple of days, figure out how to sell some of these. I'm going to make lots, put them on Facebook Marketplace. I might run a whatnot. I have just talked to somebody about doing a local auction, so that's not going to happen for a little bit, but I might build lots for that. I'm not really sure, but we'll catch up here. It'll be obviously in this video, but for me, it'll be a few days later when I figure out what I'm going to do with all this stuff, and then we can talk about actual value. And it maybe at that point I've already sold something and made all my money back, which wouldn't be a big stretch since we're only talking about $6 and change. Yeah, let me show you what everything looks like on the floor, and then we'll catch up in about a day or so. So we've separated the video game stuff. Now this stuff is just no good. There's a bin and a bag. The first 4 piles here, those are going to be for the antique booth, so I'm keeping those for personal. Everything else you see here is going to be lotted up. There's a good amount of them. As I go back here, you'll kind of get a better idea of how many there actually are. There are definitely a few. So it's about 2 days later, and we've already made a couple of sales on Facebook Marketplace. 58 Disney DVDs sold for $35. Obviously not a lot of money, but that's kind of just trying to get rid of them. I'm not really trying to get max profit for all this stuff. Just be gone with it, right? 70, these are all comedy movies. I sold 70 movies for $35. So we've already made, or not made, but we've already sold $70 worth of items here just for cash on Facebook Marketplace. Now I've also took some Baby Einstein DVDs and lotted 14 together. I have more, but they're double. So 14 of them we listed on eBay for $39. I think that's the last comp I could find for a similar item. So I'll throw that up now, just the comp for that. I've also listed some of the video games as well. You've seen me throw comps up those games I listed. Some of the other games, really, they're just sitting behind me actually, but they're maybe not worth listing. The card I haven't listed yet, the little anime card. I might list that still. But I've made a whole bunch of other lots, anywhere from 70 to almost 150 DVDs all at once, but really mostly in like the $30 to $50 price range. And that's kind of, where we're at right now. So we'll update you again in a few days. All right, it's a couple days later and I do have an update. We've sold quite a bit of the stuff here. So we sold 99 teen movies on Facebook Marketplace for $30. The same person picked up a $20 kid bundle, which was like the Dora the Explorer, Bob the Builder, those type of things, $20 for a bundle of those. Then somebody else bought 119 DVDs, which are mostly action movies. I've just built a big action movie lot, put them up for $45, sold on Facebook Marketplace, and then I had 139 DVDs, which were mostly dramas and rom-coms, also $45. So that's Facebook Marketplace sales already of $205. That's all the DVD lots that I do have. The only ones that I have left are the ones behind me in these stacks. We'll go through those here in a second. All right, so these DVDs are all for the booth. This rack holds about 40 DVDs. I think I've got Avatar on top for $6. Most of these, though, the music ones are different. I think they are $6. Most of these, if we just pull out a regular DVD, right, like Ray here should be $4. That's what's basically what I got most of them priced for. Some of the music ones are more. But yeah, if we just look at just right here, so there's 80 DVDs total that I'm keeping. If I sold them for $4 a piece, which is possible, but we obviously need to sell them. It can't just be, this is what they're worth. They have to sell. But there's a potential there of $320 in extra money that I've already got from just the lots that I sold, right? So there's some pretty good money here. These will take a good amount of time. Some might sell for less money if I run a sale in the booth, or, you know, something like that. I also have a ton of DVDs in the booth, so I'm gonna be able to change them in and out. I just wanna use these racks there because they're easier to see. I also have a little box here. We didn't really add these in the total numbers, but I think for the most part, these ones are priced as well. They're just extra ones, right? These really, mostly these are, I'm gonna say for the most part, horror movies and some superhero type movies, but there's some music stuff mixed in there. These ones, there's a lot of like Westerns and things like that that will go in there eventually. But yeah, for right now, we'll just leave these out of the picture. And I did wind up taking a whole bunch of like the workout DVDs and some of the ones that I had multiple doubles of and just donating those. All the empty cases, I kept some of the cases just so I could have replacement cases. So I just put them in a bin and I stored them out in an outbuilding here. So I have them if I need them, and then threw away the inserts. Some of them I had to throw away because they were just junk. And the other ones went to Value Village. I think I dropped off a whole bunch of extra DVDs. I did one day, so I got a 20% off coupon that's good, I think, for the next year. And then the next time I go, I'll do the same thing. I'll donate a bunch more DVDs and get a 20% coupon. So I'm gonna use that to sort of create some, you know, some extra money for me in savings with getting the coupon. So that kind of helps too. But as you can see, it's a pretty good investment here so far with the $6.30. So as we wrap up the video, what do I think? Well, you know, value-wise, obviously good, right? I spent $6.30. I'm already in the profit. You know, I've got $205 cash in hand. I've got some listings on eBay that will definitely sell over time. I also have some lots now made up for the antique booth, which I basically have no money in any of this, right? Like basically, first sale was profit. It wasn't a big deal. It was very, very easy to make money. Time is probably the issue here. So when I went out to grab these, I was already in the area that I was picking them up. So that was no big deal. I didn't go out of the way, but it did take me about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to pack this stuff up in the bins and the bags and then get them home. Obviously it was travel time as well. Then I took another couple of days. I took maybe about 3 hours a day over 2 days to like sort them all out. My living room was a disaster for the entire weekend. You know, I think I picked these up on a Thursday, and when I'm filming this, it's a Tuesday. So it's, you know, not even a week has went by yet, but and I've already sold the big lots on Facebook Marketplace over the weekend. So that was a huge, huge plus. But like I said, it really depends how you value your time. I think it's worth it. Am I going to rush out and grab another one of these right away? No, but I could see maybe in a couple weeks or a month doing it again, because it is just luck of the draw. I don't know what I'm going to get. I'm also going to see how well these sell in the booth. First, you know, I always can sell the big lots on Marketplace. That's no problem. Or if somebody reaches out to me from this video and says, hey, I would buy some of these from me if you pick them up, that would be another reason for me to pick them up sooner. Will I do this again? Yes. Am I going to rush out and do it tomorrow? Probably not. But overall, I think it's been a really good experience. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do like videos like this, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing for more content, and we will see you soon.